So from Cardassia Prime to the wormhole.
To the shores of Bejor.
NERDSoul.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we're coming with another wonderful episode of movie reviews and specials because I am not only joined by this young man right here, we're gonna get to in a second, but today we're teaming up with Slice of SciFi. That's right. They hold you down, whether it's that fantasy, that sci-fi, that horror. They get all into it and dig a little deeper to see where your head is at. So, with that said, we're getting started and we're talking about, that's right, what we left behind, Deep Space Nine, looking back, and it's great because, to my right, we have Solar Grey.
Hey everybody, this is Solar Grey, the cinematic sorcerer, coming at you from the NERDSoul whip.
Yep.
And I am going to say this, man. It's Slice of SciFi seriously holding it down. A lot of people don't know how many people of color and LGBT and people of color, women, LGBT, disabled, and definitely the fiscally disenfranchised are down with sci-fi. Like a lot of people ask.
Definitely.
You know, a lot of people are always talking to me like, "Oh, wait, you into Star Trek and all that stuff?" And I'm like, "Bruh,
like, come on, man.
All right, I'm known for fantasy. I'm known for talking about D&D and all that stuff. But as a person of color that grew up disenfranchised, we're always thinking about the future.
Yeah.
We ain't happy with the past. we don't want to go back. Like, if I had a time machine, would I go back to the 1800s? Nah. If I had a time machine, I'd be like in 2830.
Yeah. So, with that said, we're looking back a little bit and going forward. With this documentary, what are your thoughts, like, first coming out of the theater?
First coming out of the theater, I gotta say, all right, coming out, I'm gonna say this was a good documentary. It was a little more entertaining than I'm used to documentaries.
Yeah, definitely.
A little more entertaining. Most of the time, and I watch loads of documentaries. I think I watch like 4 a week.
Oh, man.
4 a week. Well, got to get on that science tip.
You got to get your learn on.
Yeah, exactly. The moment you stop studying is the moment you start to die.
True.
So,
True that.
But really, I was expecting and we filmed this show. And of course we filmed the show. We were working at Paramount,
A very straight-laced kind of thing.
A very straight-laced type thing. And I was I was really expecting the actors in the documentary to do what actors in documentaries do, which is I'm going to come at this with full-throated support at every single turn, just in case it might cost me work later.
Yeah.
Of course, I loved my job. I loved
it was
my
amazing.
job. I loved my character.
Everything was perfect.
I loved.
But, and we did get kind of a real look at sort of their experiences.
Much more of a real look. Specifically, God, I should have pulled out my notes. With Terry Farrell breaking down crying.
Yeah.
And the actor who played Gul Dukat.
Yeah.
And Armin Zimmerman. Like, when it came to the older actors and Terry Farrell, it was like, you know what? I'm too old to play this game, right?
Yeah, it's I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, I was pissed off at the crew. I did not feel appreciated. I'm like, all right, cool. This is less Hollywood documentary.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I guess maybe because how it was made with the whole, with it being crowdfunded, it was a little. It didn't have to be so closely tied to what the studio was expecting to see.
Well, there's always that level of this is going to be out for mass release.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that'll always be there.
Paramount or the executives at CBS see this, there's always that risk of going, oh, you felt unappreciated? Well, I guess you ain't going to be working no more. But when it came to the older members of the documentary, it's like, I didn't plan on working anymore anyway, so let me tell you how I seriously feeling, And I like that. I really do like that in documentaries. And these guys came out raw. Now, I don't know if we talked about it, but I've seen every Star Trek documentary that there is.
Oh, see, I've never seen every one. And I'll say with this one, it definitely had a
lack of Shatner. Thank God. There was no William Shatner in this.
Boy.
And there shouldn't have been. There should not have been any Shatner, and
No.
they didn't go for Shatner. So,
But I'll say this: the documentary definitely had a vibe of you're just hanging out with some friends, talking about good times.
Okay.
Or the good and the bad sometimes. But it definitely had you're with your friends talking about Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and what you loved, what you hated, what got on your nerves, what was your high points, and it was more relaxed.
It hit me as a bunch of old friends, not just talking about Deep Space Nine, but it was old friends getting together to talk about, hey, remember when we worked at that one place? Yeah.
Yeah, like the old employees get together.
You totally flashed the manager that day, remember? Oh, I didn't flash the manager that day. Look, dude, I took a selfie. Oh, okay.
It's like, oh man, yeah, I did do that. So it was cool. Now, with that said, would you recommend someone get this on like digital or whatever?
I recommend. All right, now number one, much like many people of color out there, Deep Space Nine was my Star Trek. That was my show.
Yeah.
Because I grew up watching reruns of the original series. I saw every Star Trek movie from Star Trek 2 on in the theaters.
Okay.
I would have saw Star Trek 1, but I was a baby, so I don't know. I know about Star Wars as a baby, but but the thing was, like, I was there at the beginning of The Next Generation. And funny thing about Star Trek fans that they didn't talk about on the documentary is that every Star Trek fan, and they don't want to admit this, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We give crap to every new show.
Yeah, that's why I'm not and this is a little unrelated, but I cover Discovery. And I'm loving Discovery.
Yeah.
And Discovery gets a lot of hate. And I'm like, there's 10 years from now, y'all will be saying, man, it was so cool.
It's part of the Star Trek rite of passage. Because when TNG came out, we were like, who is this old fool coming out? That ain't Kirk. That ain't... No. I'm talking... You said the Next Generation. Where's my Next Generation Kirk? What's this Pickard? What's this Pickard guy? My great grandmama was a Pickard. But no,
I don't want to hear this. So
a few years later, people are going, no, man, Picard,
he's the best.
Man,
he's the best. Oh, he the greatest. So and I like how the documentary touched on that. You get a lot of fan interaction and intervention.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Big shout out to not only people that made the documentary, but my boy Avery is in the documentary 2 times.
Avery,
that's right.
Isn't he from
Avery
Batman
Evans.
on Batman?
No. Mark, but yes, Mark Bernardin's in there.
Bernard is there.
So Mark, shout out to Mark.
Yeah.
What up? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, come on the show. But anyway, Avery Evans that does Chopping It Up Geek was on there, and I was like, oh snap, because he's always at the conventions.
Gotcha.
My invite be getting lost, but don't worry about all that. But I like
I get the invite. I'm just broke. I can't go to Vegas.
I like the ebb and flow in this documentary of like the Paramount level, the kind of behind the scenes level of people behind the camera.
I
then
really
the actors.
enjoyed the behind the scenes stuff when they were talking about when they were specifically talking to the concept artists and the writers. Like you get to see what the writing process for TV is, all the way down to the 4-section whiteboard.
Yeah, actually,
I'm just like,
if you are looking to be a TV writer, this documentary gives you an idea what a writer's room is like.
You need to own this.
This actually is a good idea, and I love how you see them like they're firing off, and they're like, okay, and you see them forging this path. Yeah, and they give us an idea on what an episode 8 pilot, or not pilot, premiere would be. And it's very interesting. I like the turns they take.
I wanted to see it. Like at the end of it, I'm like, all right, I want to see this now.
I kind of want to do a thing where it's like, all right, they made episode 1. Let's make like the other 24 episodes. Like just to have fun.
Far more talented than me, because I don't want to get involved.
But that reminds you of the days when you're hanging out in the playground, and you're just like, what if this happened? What if that happened? And so it's great, and you get to not only see the writer's room side, but you get to see them have fun and be playful with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd say. This documentary
room
is...
I've been in, like the one that they showed in the documentary was woefully missing the liquor, the cigarette ashtrays and all the weed.
Yeah, but this
and the fights. Nobody punched anybody in this writers' meeting, so I'm like, feels like that working on DS9.
okay, no problem.
Yeah,
but I will say this documentary has a very a free feeling, a fun feeling of like a very flowy nature about it, where you don't feel like you're being talked down to, or you don't feel like, man, there's so much information flying at me.
Yeah, no.
You have a good time watching this.
It's less didactic and more conversational.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of conversations, and you're just sitting up going, okay, all right, I can see where that came about. Yeah, oh man, am I learning something? Oh crap. I didn't mean to do that. It was, I'm not gonna lie, the credit scene I thought was brilliantly pulled off.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
The lyrics and all that, very funny.
Well, not just that. I mean, just the back and forth between Nana Visitor.
True.
And,
yeah, good one.
And Ira, sitting up going, I can't believe you left this out. I can't believe you left that out. I'm like, way to get ahead of this on Twitter.
Yeah, it's what
like,
we left behind.
It.
And now we're saying that, but you guys know kind of our general thoughts. There's not really any spoilers to give away. It's a documentary, and the series is on Netflix. You should have watched it or should be watching it.
I mean,
for your second or third time.
There's a whole bunch of ways to see it.
Yeah,
whole bunch of ways.
Yeah,
and a lot of the things they talked about doing was embracing the lack of popularity. Like, I really like that. Like, they call themselves the middle kids of the Star Trek franchise.
Yeah, they do touch on that.
They were. But then they went, all right, you know what? Since we are the middle kids, let's take some chances.
Yeah,
Since mom and dad ain't watching.
Yeah.
And what can I get away with?
In the interview that's on this channel, Ira does talking about having that freeing feeling after he was like, yes, there's no pressure on us. Nobody cares about us. Now we can do what we want to do.
They think we're going to fail. So you know what?
Bah!
That's what he does.
And that freedom led them to a show that I think probably
hands down best written.
Probably lives a little bit longer and stronger and ages better due to it.
Well, see, that's a tough one. When we talk about like shows aging, that's a really hard thing, because by what do you measure? Do you measure special effects?
Well, just by time. Like, does this still interest you?
Well,
Can you watch this and still say I'm having a good time, as opposed to the other shows?
I mean, I definitely get that, but I mean, it all depends on what you're watching it for. Because I watch things based a lot on stories and what the message is, right? And TNG is timeless in this is what the best of us looks like.
Yeah.
However, DS9 it's specially written in this way that states that way down in places you don't talk about at parties, you hope it's not timeless, because it shows the other side. Like, we've made all these advances. We come out, we discover alien life. All right, cool. Now what happens? What happens after we discover? Do they like us? Do they not like us? Are we good people? Like, do we stay good?
Or is it a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B?
Exactly.
And the world turns around.
Yeah, exactly. So it's timeless in the sense that,
it seems more real.
Yeah, it ages well because it's so grounded.
Yeah.
However, there's that real deep down part that says, well, it is well grounded, but I really don't want this to be I don't want today to be the future. You know what I mean?
True.
I want the future to be better in way more ways. Yeah, it is now relevant.
Yes.
It's very
Still relevant
and informative.
Yeah.
Where
and they broke a lot of ground.
Yeah, they really did. First serialized TV drama. That was huge, because they even say it in the documentary. Deep Space Nine went somewhere that you weren't supposed to go with TV, but since that actually showed that it could work, we then get Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad,
True,
Walking
Dead, Mad Men,
Sons of Anarchy,
any of that.
The standard format of serialized TV drama that we live with now would have taken another 10, 15 years if not for DS9. True. Because in their time, it was all episodic. You're supposed to be able to throw in an episode, watch the episode, and then go about your day.
All over.
Like every episode was somebody's first. But with DS9, it's like, oh no, you missed it. You got to go catch up with the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think with that said, the way we watch TV now lends better to DS9 as opposed to TNG.
Absolutely.
Because with Netflix, I've watched TNG and it gets stale.
It's Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
It's Moral of the Week.
But watching DS9, you see that growth because of now you can stack episodes.
Yeah, you're
so
looking
now,
at the Serialized.
Yeah, now you can sit at home and be like, oh, well, I'll watch 3 hours of DS9 today. And tomorrow I'll watch 2 episodes, and then Saturday I'll watch 4, and then, and you can do that.
But
with
you
TNG,
got that kind of control.
Yeah,
I turn on DS9, I'm like, call me Thursday.
But with TNG, you watch like 2 or 3 in a row, and it's just like, all right, okay, except those couple of storylines with like Borg and Romulans, stuff like that. But
things,
yeah,
and Final Frontier, and
yeah,
all right, yeah.
So those kind of storylines. Now, with that said, we think you should check it out. It's a dope movie. You should definitely go get it because there's a lot of fun in there, especially if you're a Trek fan.
Yeah.
Now, before we get out of here, though, what's one of your favorite moments from DS9?
Oh, God.
You've seen the whole series.
Oh, God.
What's one of your moments where you're like, man, that was funny, or
right,
ooh, that was cold?
At least give me three.
3 moments.
All right. Moment number 1.
All right.
And can I live with that? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I can live with that. From A Pale Moonlight.
Okay.
1. All right, number 2. Cisco punching Q. And Q looking up saying, you hit
snap.
me. Picard would never hit me. And Avery Brooks,
You're like, fool.
my captain, looking down at him going, I'm not Picard. Like, I ain't him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No.
And because that was really one of the most solidifying moments for that character. Because every Star Trek show has a major question: is what is the captain going to be like?
Yeah.
Kirk set
what
that
kind of man
back
is
in
he?
66.
Yeah. What kind of man is he? Or woman is she?
Well, Patrick Stewart, when he came up with Picard, specifically set out to make Picard the anti-Kirk. Okay.
Okay.
But then we get Avery Brooks. And it's like, all right, now we take the most beloved captain in Star Trek, being Picard, and he hates Picard.
Yeah.
And he's going to be anti-Picard, but not Kirk.
And he's justified in his...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Watch the first season, you'll get it.
Yeah.
But how do you become the anti-Picard without being another Kirk? Okay.
Sure.
And he brought that. So that moment where Q was like, yes, but you're a Starfleet captain, and I've been blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, sorry.
Look, I ain't hearing that.
And my third favorite moment was between Garrick and Nog. And they were stranded on a planet.
Oh.
And Nog was like, all right, so you're going to go ahead. We're going to go that way. You start. And Garrick was like, are you sure you don't want to lead the way? And Nog is like, I will walk behind you. I will walk beside you, but I am not turning my back on you ever again. And Garrick was like,
nah,
oh,
bro.
good, you learned. I'm like, all right. But, the real talk, Garrick was my favorite character.
Okay,
He really was. He is the one like I look back on, and I am genuinely joyful when he's on screen.
See, for me, that character, there's many moments, but I'll say mine right now. One of my favorites right now is Quark being a Klingon husband.
Oh, his wedding?
And doing the math, the numbers, and and helping the lady out. He's like, if you go to page 6, the paragraph C, you'll see that there's no money there. like Quark is just one of those characters that it's like, he's lovable and hateable, wrapped up in a ball, and it's like you roll your eyes when you see him, but you're also happy to see him.
I never roll my eyes because Quark was, all right, he was one of the biggest liars on the show.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. He'd be lying.
He wasn't a bad liar. He was like, look, I am a greedy, backstabbing,
True.
I am going to screw you the moment that there's money involved.
But he tried.
That's the thing. He was lying. He was even lying to himself.
True.
You know, I mean, in the last 3 seasons, after he got the Klingon wife, which, best monologue, I gotta say, in the show, was when he throws away his weapon and says, yeah, go for it. Oh, or you have the honor of killing an unarmed Ferengi. Oh, big man. And I'm just like, all right, well done. Well done.
It's a big gamble, but well played.
Yeah, but in those last 3 seasons, where he started being an anti-Ferengi. Like, Starfleet rubbed off on him.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm a mercenary. Look, you know I will backstab you for money, but I won't backstab him or her or her.
Yeah. Because this is my crew and we're a family now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
So guys, hey, that's what the documentary is about. Look, it's just about good times with friends
and it inspires
throwing some love on Deep Space Nine.
And it inspires this conversation because we just get out of a documentary about DS9.
Yeah,
and
talk more about it.
Yeah, and we're just going, you know what, I think I'm going to watch that episode.
Yeah, go home and watch some more. So guys, before we get out of here, to my right,
yes,
Solar Greye.
Oh, me, yeah.
Where can they find you?
They can find me over at BidP on YouTube. You can head on over to twitch.tv/BID_P and check out my live cast, of which there are 3 to 5 a week. Yeah. Oh, we always working. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media at Back in the Deck. That's BACKINTAGEDECK. At Gmail, at Twitter, at Instagram, all the Instagrams.
All them things.
Yeah, all them things. And that's where they can get a hold of me.
Right up. And a big shout out to Slice of SciFi. Thank you for teaming up with us.
Huge shout
holding us down. All that good stuff. Guys, check out their website and their social, because if you want to dig a little bit deeper, check out them videos, them blogs, them articles. They're doing some good stuff. I taught them everything they know. No, I'm just playing. I didn't.
Wow, look at the time.
But guys, NERDSoul here. That's right, NERDSOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Holla at me. Let's have a good time. Let's talk about Deep Space Nine. Let's talk about Cloak and Dagger. Let's talk about agents coming back. All of that good stuff. And we're going to get back together for Doom Patrol, the finale. See, I thought it was a finale, but it wasn't a finale, but it's going to be the real finale. So we're going to have a lot of good, just mind explosions over Mr. Nobody. But until then, from us to you, we're saying thanks for hanging out with us, and peace.